Here, observe this marvelous masterclass on Scriabin's interpretation music by the great Valery Gergiev, the best conductor of all times. And what does it mean to put the mind in the mental state, appropriate mental state, with the mind on music and paying attention, playing in the present, etc. Observe this thing here.
Yeah. No. Don't stop the sound like one. Ta from a side, but not one. But it's technical. Yeah. You know, this when they start to play this grand entrance of the brass. You know, where is this? 50. Okay. Okay. Let's do it from here. Okay.
Okay.
From
the 2/4.
Yeah. 3 before 50.
3 before 50.
3 before 50. Just 3 before 50. Clear the way.
Yeah.
For the leading voice.
Yeah.
What is leading voice?
There.
Okay. How you clear the way?
I first look at them before they are having to come and invite them.
Yeah, that's good. Good explanation. What else can be done?
Also,
don't involve yourself. If you like a girl, don't look at everyone else on the street.
Yeah.
You see? This is a girl I like. The girl will disappear. Yeah? You have to follow her.
Yeah.
So look. It's 3 before 50. Yeah? It's a trick. I trick now. Because there is another scenario. 3 before 50. Look. Now you show that you also trust the girl. You understand?
Yeah. Size of personality
is still a question, because to appear in front of orchestra, sometimes first 20 seconds decide. So you have to display quickly. You cannot tell orchestra, wait 3 days, but on the 4th rehearsal, I'll be a great conductor. No one will believe in this story.
The mental state you have, it will reflect when you play. When you play something, your mental state, it matters. So if someone, for example, suppose someone is angry or fight in the morning, whatever, and then if you put this guy to record in an album or go to a music session or to a concert or to play or perform even for friends, you can tell that this person has the mind in other place. So you need to be able to keep this clean state of mind when you are interpreting, so that you can receive the meaning of the musical statements and the emotions which are there in these melodies or in these rhythms, in what you are doing, and be able to convey it to the public. This is the work of interpretation, but most important, first we have to know that, yes, we have to interpret, and then now we have to know that our mental state will affect. Therefore, it's very important that you keep the mind in the present. Don't think of other things, don't think of appointments, don't think on the cell phones. Just put that apart, because otherwise you are not there at present. And you are not there means actually your mind is not in music. So this is one reason why some people have no power playing, interpreting things. It's just very cold. Maybe it's technically correct, by the way. Many times this happens. People play nicely things, but it really doesn't move you. Like you go to a concert, a great teacher I learned many of these things from a great master, Manolo Parramos, a teacher from Argentina. And when I was a child, when I was 14 years old, or 12, my mother brought me to study with him classical guitar, and he taught these things from the beginning, that even the carullos, the sagreras studies, anything which was actually an exercise, he did interpret it nicely because he was present there. So this was one great quality he had. Besides all the great system he designed for classic guitar and many things I learned from him from childhood, which laid the foundation on which I could after learn so easily and flowing stuff with Paco de Lucia and with many other musicians I learned from, like Chick Corea and even from other instruments. That was a great teaching, that you need to be present and be able to play any phrase and make it sound big. Just anything which seems a nonsense becomes big all of a sudden because you interpret it with power. So this means, what does it mean? What I'm saying, this is because your mental state, mind has to be clean. Otherwise, if you are thinking of other thing and playing something, then it has no meaning really. It doesn't. It's like fake bullets, these bullets that make a sound, but it does not hit the target. It just makes a sound. So it's ineffective playing, because here we are talking about interpretation. And interpretation, you have to have the mind, the mental state you have, like an antenna to receive this music from the higher vibrational field which is produced. And of course the composer, say people like Scriabin or Chick Corea or Paco, were that much inspired, so they could place their minds in a way that the universe or God or anything you want to say, it gave them this ability, like a radio, when the radio is in proper syntony. Otherwise it will sound this sounds there. But when it is in its proper number of syntony, then it goes great. Then you can listen it clearly. So we as musicians are kind of this antenna thing too, because we have to receive the message. Like we play, say, a falsetto of Paco. than Rio de la Miel or a Bulería, anything. You play something then, and in order to play that, wow, you need to feel the power of this music coming to you, and to receive that you have to have the mind free to take it. Otherwise, if the mind is worried with other things, then you don't receive this thing. Maybe the fingers play it. That's one thing. That happens 90% of the time, people playing. Yeah, actually it's very few times, like 10 out of 100 times this, that we have to make it happen 120 times playing great out of 100, not 90 disjointed, you know. Is like an alienation thing, because the hands and the body is playing, but the mind is in another place. This is the main topic. So therefore, that's why Paco was very reluctant to all these gadgets and these electronic things. Actually, barely could send an email, knew how to do it. He hated it because it was, of course, of all the school and of other times, but he was not with the telephone, with the cell phone around, or this thing. Forget it, because it will really disturb him. He will have great concentration, great focus. And whatever time he was playing, practicing, or composing, he was really on that only, and don't regard the telephone or nothing. Just close the door and play. And this is an intimate experience with the instrument, which of course brings fruits. And the fruit will be that the meaning of the music will descend to you. It descends really because it comes from higher realm. This music thing is a sacred thing, actually. It's not such a cheap stuff to make a business out of it. In fact, I want to teach guitar. This is my hobby, and I do it not as a job, but as impetus to make others play better, because I enjoy more by seeing how others play better than playing myself great. I enjoy more if I can make others play great. So this is how you play great. You play great by having the mental state appropriate. So you reserve this mind clean of other topics and put it into music in the moment. And then when you do that, the meaning of the music you're playing it will be revealed to you, so to say. And then of course you can convey that. Otherwise there is no meaning to do. Even a robot can do it. A programming machine, you put the notes and they play better than us because it's a robot. Right? If I program scales or anything in a Pro Tools system or any of these things, then of course they beat us because they are faster and very accurate. They are not worried. They never have headache or stomach upset, etc. So they can play better than us. But what the machine cannot do is convey these meanings, which are revealed and also dynamically revealed, because one day you could see how Paco played one day in a concert in a certain way, even the same pieces. And then in the next day he played it a different way. Because this is also dynamical according to what you feel in the moment. But to do that, you have to be there in the present. And this is what is the difficulty about the mental state. Mental state, you create it. Don't put excuses. Oh, people keep calling me like this. You know why? I have a cell phone, a very bad one also. I use it because, of course, I am not from the Stone Age, but I always say that please call me. If you want to communicate with me, better do it via email, because email I will see it when I have to see the emails. If you want to talk to me, but telephone, I cannot have it on, because, for instance, I teach 8 or 9 hours a day, and then I also practice 2 or 3 hours myself. So I teach 8 hours there, and if I had the phone on, everyone will keep calling me. How do you say the strings? How do you put the string here and there? Which string was that? So it's, man, I cannot talk now of this. I have a student here in front. I need to teach this. So I am the worst person to talk by phone, because I have it sometimes on when the students come to the seminars or to the things where we do an appointment or anything. But I try to not have that, because it distracts and it's not respectful also for you or for the student. Because when you are talking with someone, you're supposed to be talking with that person. They should be present. Otherwise, this unavailability with the body there. So apparently, the two persons are there. You have seen this. I don't need to tell you this. You have seen it. Two persons are there, sitting at the same table, each one with the iPad or something. And are they together? No. Or now, I tell you one thing. These technologies are great and everything, but it can be an enemy also of the flow. This, because if the telephone keeps ringing or sending message, how I will concentrate on receiving the message of what? The message I am giving that I am concerned on my mind is another thing, which is not music. And the moment you do that, music is very jealous, and it will not be merciful with you. You simply get unplugged from the source of inspiration. This is why some artists which have this much mental focus on the topic of music, like Scriabin, Korea, Paco, Gergiev, these people, they have really focus capacity to be fully there when they play, and then therefore their interpretations are, so whenever someone plays like that, then of course it hits your heart, because it's the excellency of music and inspiration coming from music, and that way you will be able to convey something which goes beyond the music itself. Yeah, it will hint to something higher than just playing the notes mechanically or robotically. So I hope this will be useful. I don't see classes of this topic anywhere in internet. There are many videos of everyone, good ones, bad ones, very great, etc. Many teachers of other instruments or whatever is there. But this topic here of how to interpret on the method, this is not there. Therefore, I want to talk about this, because I would like that you learn with me what you cannot learn anywhere else. And that's why we are talking about interpretation and about be able to surpass problems that come in the way of the flow of music. Thank you, and I see you next time.